Hey guys, Jim the Roof Nerd from Chicago, Illinois. Today I want to talk about two of my favorite subjects, roofs and science. I had a proposal the other day. I went out to one of the suburbs, talked to this guy, he showed me his roof, and he was like, hey, look at this, what do you think? Do you think I need a new roof? And I looked at it and I was like, no, actually I don't think you do. I think you just need to call a landscaper to have that mowed. Just kidding, I never said that. The problem was algae had taken over his roof. Now, why does this happen and why does it happen on roofs? If you look on the north side a lot, sometimes on the east side where there's not a lot of sun exposure, you'll see a lot of this mold and growth. And what's the problem? Back in the late 70s and early 80s, there was a petroleum crisis, a gas crisis. Everyone freaked out. The price of gas and petroleum went through the roof. And what happened? Shingle manufacturers started looking for other fillers to put in the shingles instead of making it pure asphalt or petroleum. So one thing they came up with was limestone. It seemed to fit well, it seemed to work out, it was a good filler. But years later, people started getting growth. And what people figured out was that algae actually loves to eat limestone. And today, like on your yard, sometimes they'll put lime in there to promote green grass and make your grass green. So it doesn't really work. Now, what can we do to prevent this? Limestone is probably going to continue being a filler. What they do now is they'll put copper granules. Some manufacturers, different percentage of it, they'll put copper granules in there, and the copper fights and prevents the growth of the algae. Now we've all seen copper, like you got the copper things that you can wrap around and put on your knee. There's a football player, I won't mention, who does commercials for like this copper wrap, and I thought maybe it worked. In fact, I wore a copper bucket on my head for a couple weeks in Chicago last summer, and I didn't see much of an effect from it, but just thought I would try the experiment. So what we've got now is manufacturers of shingles putting more and more copper in their copper granules to prevent the growth of the mold. So I want to jump into a couple little things here I want to show you real quick, show you why it happens and the science behind it, and give you a little rundown. All right, check this out. I actually took this picture a couple years ago in a canal in Southwest Florida. This is the same blue-green algae that ends up growing on your roofs. It's pretty gross. So here's some examples on a house. Check this out right here. So it almost looks as if for a second like this portion was stained, but what this is, this entire roof has mold. It's grown over with algae, and this part here has copper and probably some zinc ions that wash off of this every time, and they keep the shingles looking brand new. Same over here. Check this one out. The copper roof, this is copper up here. It has a green patina on it now, so because it's a little bit aged, but as the water hits this, the copper ions run down, and look what it does. It cleans it up spick and span. This is why manufacturers now realize, hey, this cleans it up, and it's a great example. Whoops. Check this out. Here's another one. This is heavy, obviously, back in the grass territory, but it runs off. And look at this tiny little antenna or satellite dish or whatever this was. Look how clean just that amount gets it. So copper really does a great job on keeping it clean. That's why manufacturers today are using the copper. Thought those pictures were pretty interesting. All right, that about wraps it up this morning. Thanks for joining me in the Nerd Laboratory here in Chicago, Illinois. I hope you learned a little bit about roofs and algae. And I hope you learned to like these videos series, and I hope you tune in, I hope you subscribe, and I hope you join me next time for the next exciting video coming out of the Roof Nerd. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Come on, help me get this thing off! I swear to God. You got it!